Okay, so today, I want to talk about the concept of love and what it means to be in a relationship. Now, the concept of love has been around for millennia. I think since the dawn of man, I assume, or the dawn of humanity. Let's just say, be equal here. um, if we look at philosophers over the years, they often say that love is not an emotion; it's more of your desires wanting to get out, more of something interpretive, or maybe something about power and control. Um, the philosopher I look to the most when discussing love would be Simone. let me make sure I pronounce it right. Simone de Beauvoir. Yeah, I think so. She wrote a lot of feminist literature. She wrote the classic novel. Was it The Opposite Sex? I think it's called The Opposite Sex, which was very groundbreaking for the feminist movement. But her interpretation of love was definitely something that I kind of admired. Um, so, as we're discussing this, Simone de Beauvoir, fuck's sake, Simone de Beauvoir's fucking whole shtick was kind of the traditional Catholic sense was about control and how love can make you lose yourself, and how women particularly were put in that position. I'm starting to realize now using my my razor to do this is probably not the best, but we'll carry on. So Simone de Beauvoir, she continuously wrote philosophy with her partner. I'm not too sure what the man's name was, just progressive like that. What can I say, guys? What can I say? I'm just progressive like that. So fucking yeah, so she basically wrote the foundations of existentialism, which basically means that life has no meaning, and meaning that is brought into is meaning that you decide for yourself. Now, personally, I'm not an existentialist myself, but I assume the majority of people are. They look at life with the nihilistic view that there is nothing, there's no divine plan, it's all about free will, all this, and what actually decides who you are as a character is what you make it to be. So Simone de Beauvoir set the foundations for existentialism, essentially. Now going on from that though, she talks about love and how it can be a good thing, but you shouldn't look at it as control, or even, you shouldn't even look at it as the be all end all. It should just be something that you can experience and something that you want to experience. And it just adds to the human condition and the human experience. Now, Simone de Beauvoir, a little bit of a controversial figure. She did get up to some pretty weird shit when she was teaching in that university. I do gotta say, it was pretty fucked up. But overall, even though she is a controversial figure, she is a very highly respected figure, and especially for her groundbreaking works and her introduction to, or her introduction into the female perspective in the circle of philosophy. Now, she is not the only female philosopher. We all know Hypatia, or however it's pronounced, because I'm not Greek. Sorry about that. But there has been other female philosophers. There was that philosopher that Nietzsche fell in love with. I'm not too familiar. I'm not too fond of Nietzsche, but we'll talk about that a different day. So Simone de Beauvoir talks about love as more of an experience, a concept, and to better understand the self and to improve the human condition. This is about having respect for your partner, respecting the autonomy of your partner, but also gaining something from your partner, getting that sort of feeling and that connection. But also, she was a non-monogamous person, so it just plays into more of who these people were. Now, the non-monogamous thing, that's okay for some people. I can't hack it. I just couldn't. I long too much. I'm a bit jealous. But yeah, it's not even that. It's just that kind of fear of someone finding someone better than you and then never coming back to you. That's kind of what it is at the end of the day. It's just that big, overwhelming fear, which I think a lot of people have pretty much all the time. Like, I can say, for example, if your girlfriend was out, or if your boyfriend was out, and attractive people kept coming up to them, or even your they though. Um, attractive people are coming up to talk to them. You would have a little bit of a fear, or even a wee bit of a jolt to that. But at the same time, you respect an autonomy and you respect their choice. Well, this can also be brought in as, like, interpreted as a monogamous way, because on top of the autonomy, the respect for the person, the sort of things you get from that person, you're also having trust in that person. So having that trust is the foundation level. But at the same time, that's not what Simone de Bolivar said. That is just my general opinion. And who the fuck am I? I'm some fucking burnout. Okay, I'm some fucking burnout. Guys, I got my A levels. Don't know if you know what that is. I don't know who the fuck's watching this, but I did get my A levels. So, got my A levels and did a gap year and then decided not to go to university. Fucking sucks. But if I was to go to university, I'd like to do a philosophy course, but too much time and I need money. Sadly, look at the state of society, guys. Am I right? Yeah. So anyway, this idea about love and all this here and respect and autonomy, it's good. And she also talks about not losing yourself in that love. So in a way that you're not solely relying on the human experience based on that love, which is really good because everyone does need the full circular expectation of life, which would be activities, community, community, knowledge, insights, and even just feeling good. So those desires that you do have, they should not be demonized to a certain extent. Obviously, I'm not saying just go fucking buck wild, but those like the desire to be held, the desire to be loved, the desire to be understood, at times can work against you, but they should not be fully demonized. You should be able to experience that. But what a lot of people have a problem with is because of how free life is and because there is no divine destiny, people often make choices and they don't think of the consequences and the consideration goes out the window. Yeah, consideration goes out the window. And I think we're all victim of this. We're all human at the end of the day. We all fall to our emotions. We all fall to the slight miscommunications. And I kind of just snowballs from there. Anyway, Simone de Beauvoir, fucking, what a classy woman. I mean, besides the fucking weird sexual things that she did in university, her theories were spot on, set the footway in the feminism, and her ideas of love, and, you know, it was very revolutionary, I'd say. Because a lot of people do look at love as more of like a step by step. So, once you do this, you do that. And once you do this, you do that. So, for example, oh my god, after this couple of weeks, we're going to go to a date. And then after that date, we're going to move in together. And then after we move in together, we're going to get married. And then after we get married, we're going to have kids. That kind of takes away from the experience and what you can actually get out of that experience. Just because you've set up those boundaries. And I don't think people should be held accountable. Slip up the tongue. I don't think people should be held up to your standard. I think you have to go by the motions, just what the other person is relaying to you. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's just your partner communicating to you. And a lot of people nowadays decide not to. They decide that it's better to protect themselves, to not communicate. And we're all victims of this. Like, this is my own personal fault, okay? I let small things slide at like the beginning of relationships and stuff like that there, but I definitely should not. I should definitely voice my concerns, voice my opinions. And every time I do lack to communicate, it always ends up causing strain on the relationship, I would say. And then you have the opposite of this, where someone doesn't give the slack and then they over communicate, and when it gets to that point, it's kind of just asking what is the reason, you know? Just like, if you over explain yourself too much, you've given away everything, you've no longer protected yourself. But at the same time though, it's that longing for the connection and the stability. Now, what a lot of people do is a lot of people rely on their partner to try and heal some childhood trauma or some childhood effects that they might suffer from, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? I mean the world's a fucked up place, and a lot of people are traumatized. A lot of people will carry that with them. But on top of that, a relationship is more of a learning curve. You learn more about yourself, you learn more about the world. It's all about getting the connectivity and finding community and seeing people for who they are. And even if they're really evil or like blah blah this and that, if you love them, you will see the good in them. And it's always hard when you do see the good in them, because most of the time they don't see the good in themselves, and it's a very tough thing to very like deal with. But I think everyone does it sometimes. You fall into this thought of idealization of self-hatred, because with self-hatred becomes growth. There is progress to be made with self-hatred, even though it is horrible and that you shouldn't hate yourself. It does give results sometimes, and that's what a lot of people fall into. Now, I wouldn't recommend anyone to hate themselves. I wouldn't do that at all. You should love yourself for who you are, and if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love nobody else? Guys, that was fucking RuPaul the Drag Racer. I don't think you noticed too many words. Yeah, but it is true. If you don't love yourself, how can you believe that anyone else can love you? Now, what there would be is lingering feelings and emotions after this love. Now, I know I enticed you all by saying about Simone de Bolivar, but that was more of just a getaway. I am currently obsessed with Simone de Bolivar, even though all the weird stuff and all that likes, but her theories are pretty solid. I do like them. But at the same time, me and her have slightly different views, which is fine. That is the whole point of philosophy. It is to find out what works for you. To be fair, I'm not a hedonist. I don't really believe in all that shit. I do kind of think though, for a person to fully develop and construct this idea of building relationships, or even this idea of connection, people need to figure themselves out. They need to figure themselves out, and the only way they do that is by getting into more situations. Now, when I talk about these situations, I'm talking about getting yourself out there, talking to strangers. You have no support, you're out there, blah blah blah. It is very scary, and it is always horrible the first couple of times. That's how you find out who you are. You find out what's your values, what you believe in, how you interact with the world. That's where you find it. And if you don't like what you see, that's okay. There's always room to change. Anybody has the capacity to change. Now, with that argument though, I would not say that certain criminals should be able to get out of the justice system that way. I'm not a Christian. Well, I mean, weird relationship with God, but I'm not a Christian, and I don't believe that everyone deserves a second chance, but everyone has the chance to improve every day, day by day. And it's telling yourself this, because if there was no other option, what would be the point of living? Now, this goes back to the existentialism. So the existentialism is that we find our own meanings. I find it very skewed. I feel like life has no meaning, but just get on with it. Because if you think about it realistically, the earth will be gone one day. Everything that we ever did will disappear. Everyone will be forgotten. But it hasn't stopped any of us before, and it won't stop any of us in the future. So we might as well just get on with it. Because if you don't, someone else is, and someone else is going to have a whole lot more harsh opinions than you, and they might set up a horrible system for the rest of us. So care about it. the way I look at it is very a little bit cynical, but think about this, right? When you wake up, tell yourself, would I rather kill myself or just get out of the bed? You know, would I rather just fucking end it all, or maybe I can go out, walk in the park, go to a river, fucking sit beside it, hear the ocean go, or not even the ocean, fucking river. Oh my god, go to the beach. I love the beach, man. The beach is so good. Nice long walk. Whew. Second second set of footprints beside me. Fuck's sake. That's not Jay Z. It's my dog. Big up. That as well. I mean, people find these ways to try and understand themselves more. And I think you need situations and experiences to actually understand yourself more. The more experiences, the more situations that you're in, the more you can be tested as a person. Which is all fine and good. But if you believe that you've made a mistake and that mistake is like eating away at you and haunting you, that's fine. It's fine for a while, but don't continuously do this. Don't continuously do it. Sorry, I'm sweating my nuts off right now. It's fucking 25 degrees. 25 degrees. Dog, it should not be 25 degrees where I live. That's so ridiculous. Pop my window open there. It's fucking killing me, like. Yeah. Simone de Beauvoir. We're going back in circles. We're going back and forth. Simone de Beauvoir said a very famous quote. It was, "One is not born a woman, one simply becomes." I'm pretty sure is the quote. I'm not too sure. She spoke French, so God fucking knows. But she said that, and it's very interesting. Because it goes back to her book, which is fucking, I'm pretty sure it's called Second Sex. I'm gonna double check that. I'm gonna fact check that. Yeah, okay, that is her book. Her book is called that, Second Sex. Yeah. She had a very beautiful way of looking at love, but at the same time, trying to get on with your life. You should just look at romance and all your relationships as a learning curve. But don't think romance is dead, and don't think love is dead, because it isn't. Everyone has the opportunity to love, everyone has the opportunity to understand, and everyone has the opportunity to change. So don't stop believing in it. Even if you've gone through multiple relationships and they're not working out for you, it's fine, because every single time you've come out of it, you've understood yourself a little bit more. Now, what I mean is, you don't have to hate your exes, you don't have to fucking do this, that. They may have done you horrible, they might have done horrible things to you, but alright, I'm going to elaborate what I mean horrible. Okay, so like, if they did any crime to you, I'm going to just say crime, because if I say it out loud, it'd be fucked up. If they done any harm to you physically, like that, don't forgive them. Well, forgive them for yourself. Don't forget. Just don't forgive them for yourself, because you deserve that peace. You don't need to have them linger on for far too long. But what I mean is, like, if they were talking mad shit, right, or they were fucking coming to your house and like fucking texting your family and stuff like that, there, like, don't hold it against them, because that's just, they're also just living life, and they're also learning things about themselves, and they're gonna have to deal with the consequences of those actions. Like, for a lot of people don't think they can be loved, and this is the thing: everyone can be loved, and everyone can love. I don't know how this fucking looks. I really hope that the other camera isn't as god awful. This is a horrible setup. This makes it look like I live in the crack down. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. It looks nice enough. There's a light behind me. Looks like my fucking angel dog. Yeah, but anyway, I've made my fair few mistakes, and I've come out the other side, and I know myself a little bit more. Now, how can you say that you love yourself if you don't fully understand yourself? And I don't think anyone fully understands themselves, okay? You can love yourself on the journey. You don't have to love yourself every step of the way. But as long as you come out the other side, saying something like, wow, I didn't know that about myself, or wow, I didn't know I didn't like to be treated like that, or wow, I didn't know how much I've lost in myself. Those things are okay because you can rebuild, you can get better, and you'll feel better for it, surprisingly. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Fuck, it's a 20-minute long video. Let's roll it back. We're not talking about someone to build a war anymore, right? We're talking about sex. Okay. So when it comes to the sexual aspect of most relationships, a lot of the time, people have difficulty with it, which is fair because the world is a bad place. But also, it also determines how people look at you and like the lens that they put on. But that kind of boils down to more the person that they are. So if you're ever being told that you've maybe slapped around too much, or you're a fucking, what's it called, frigid, you're a frigid, just don't listen to anyone. It is your experience, it is your life. You don't have to live out some sort of weird view on you. Because if you love yourself, you're not going to say those things to yourself. Others around you might say that. Others around you might think that and not even tell you, but that's fine. It's all good as long as you hold that self-love. Now, how can you achieve self-love if you don't already love yourself? That's a very hard question, and it's very dependent on the person. What I would recommend is maybe getting into an activity and a hobby, which is the most fucking basic answer you could be looking for right now, but that would be my advice. Just try and get like something going for yourself. Try and express yourself without doing much. You know what I mean? Try fucking drawing. I don't know, play an instrument. I would also say get in contact with people that also share similar interests as you. Because if you surround yourself by people who are constantly like talking about things you're not interested in, it becomes very difficult to engage with people. So I would say, let's say for example, you liked reading. Join a fucking book club. Go to the library, dog. Figure out what genre specifically that you like and talk about that. Or go down to the fucking community center or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, just go do things. Just go do things and be happy. Now, to mix it in with employment, very, very fucking broad video, which makes no fucking sense. It looks like a schizophrenic's rambling. But jobs, and how jobs affect our capacity to love. Sorry, I think I hurt the dog. Or no, it's not the dog. Yeah. Anyway, jobs hold our capacity for love, and especially with today's more grim outlook on life, I would say. A lot of people have physical standards nowadays, and a lot more than they would have. Actually, you know what? No, humanity has always had a problem with this. It's just a lot more advertised now, and it's actually getting really bad because there is children figuring out about these things and getting body dysmorphia at 13, becoming anorexic, young. All these things are really bad, but it all kind of plays into the job aspect as well, because now it is no longer about the physical attractiveness of you, it is also about the financial attractive of you. The financial attraction of you, okay? That's when it becomes more of a weird thing, because most of the time you find that the people that want to find somebody that is financially attractive don't have money. They don't have it themselves, and they don't want to work for it. They'd rather just find somebody that worked for it, or not even. They'll just find somebody who got it from family wealth, some bullshit like that, and they have it. It's like an easy way out, I guess. But yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked, and the jobs also get in the way of your daily life. Like, think about how many hours you would sink into your work. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. You may be unemployed. If you're watching this, you're probably unemployed. Alright, sorry, too far. I don't know you. And you don't really know me. I'm just some fucking loud ass motherfucker sitting in his bedroom recording right now. I ain't shit, dog. But yeah, the jobs do get in the way of personal, intimate relationships. 100%. Because what you work kind of defines you in other people's eyes. It kind of sets a mode because they know what you work as and they know other people that work in your field. So they'll make assumptions based on that, which is it's a very scary concept when you think about it, because most of the time, I'm saying this, most of the workforce that are working currently don't really care about the job they're getting, they just care about the money that it brings in. And that's not a big fucking scary statement to say. I'm pretty sure everyone's on the same page about that. Like, I used to work bar shifts. I used to be a bar back. I used to be a bartender. I used to be a fucking cleaner. You know, like, I used to do a bunch of shit. And it just kind of like, it defines who you are for certain people. And that's also kind of scary. It's not like people don't want to actually look at you. They want to look at the things surrounding you and circumstances. And they want to make a judgment off that. They don't actually want to see you or your soul. Is there a soul? Okay. I mean metaphorically, dog. They don't really they don't want to see you as a person, because then they'd have to humanize you. And if they humanize you, they become vulnerable to you. And if they're vulnerable to you, you can hurt them. And that's the problem. Everyone's on this earth is kind of hurt. They're all kind of hurt. Something's hurt them. Now, to the depth of which it's hurt them, who fucking knows? Who the fuck knows? Who knows? I'm gonna watch this video and hate it because I think I blink off. I think this one blinks before that one. I fucking hate it. Sorry, it's really late at night. I've had problems sleeping these days. Literally Tyler Dirt. Don't fucking quote that. That's hard. That is hard. Don't do that. Yeah. But yeah. Sadly, what you work as kind of defines you. And you're just gonna have to find a way to try and show yourself without it fully consuming you. Anyway, that's me done chatting shit for like, what was it? 28 minutes. Okay. I'll let you go. Okay. I'll let you go. It's good talking to you, I guess. Subscribe, I guess. Subscribe. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe. If you decide to subscribe, that would be really nice. Also, thanks for listening to me, I guess.